Let me ask you something. Have you ever faced a moment when it seemed like the whole world had turned its back on you? When someone looked deeply into your eyes, not to understand you, but to destroy every fragment of your soul. They yearned for you to scream in despair. They hoped your tears would fall as proof of the pain they caused. They needed your anger, like a fire that would justify their cruel actions. But instead of reacting, instead of giving them the victory they so desperately desired, you did something entirely unexpected. You chose silence. The philosopher Epictetus, one of the great references in Stoic philosophy, once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This statement holds an undeniable truth. By choosing silence, you not only refuse to be a puppet in someone else's hands, but also affirm your own strength. In Stoic philosophy, silence is not a sign of weakness. It is the ultimate symbol of self-control. Consider this: silence is not surrender. Silence is not a sign of weakness or indifference. On the contrary, it is a profound affirmation of self-mastery. It is the ability to maintain inner peace, even when the world is screaming for your reaction. In this video, we will explore the extraordinary power of silence and how it not only protects you but also dismantles the ego of those who try to destroy you. Listen and discover, because sometimes your greatest strength lies in saying absolutely nothing. Number 1. Why do people expect anger? Silence is not just the absence of sound but a deliberate act, a choice that demonstrates control and power. In a world where reactions often escalate tensions, the ability to remain silent is a powerful declaration of inner strength. As Marcus Aurelius, Stoic philosopher and emperor, said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. This truth reminds us that silence is not weakness but an act of self-mastery and wisdom. Silence possesses an almost mystical quality. It reflects the truth of the situation to the provocateur. When you do not respond to provocations, you leave the other person perplexed, forcing them to face their own actions. Imagine a situation where, during a family gathering, a relative throws harsh words at you, expecting a defensive reaction. Instead, you choose silence. The weight of their words lingers in the air, unchallenged and unreinforced, leaving them uncomfortable with their own hostility. Silence is not retreat. It is a conscious decision to protect your peace. In moments of conflict, it becomes a shield that safeguards your inner world from external chaos. This choice does not avoid confrontations, but sets clear boundaries to prioritize your well-being. It also demonstrates remarkable emotional intelligence, recognizing that not every situation deserves a reaction. When someone insults or challenges your values, the immediate response might be to react. However, by remaining silent, you deny the person control over your emotions. Silence is a statement that says, "I will not let you dictate how I feel." This serene confidence is seen by the Stoics as the highest form of strength. Amid chaos, silence offers a moment of clarity, a pause to regain balance. It is in that pause that you can assess the situation and decide, if necessary, to respond in alignment with your values. Silence is not the absence of action, but the presence of intention. Consider the example of traffic. A rude driver cuts you off. Your first reaction might be anger, but by choosing silence, you preserve your emotional energy and demonstrate wisdom rather than weakness. In relationships, silence also holds transformative power. In conflicts, words spoken in anger can leave wounds that are difficult to heal. But by pausing and listening instead of reacting, you change the dynamic, showing that you value the relationship more than the argument. Truly confident people do not need to prove their worth through justifications or arguments. When provoked, they know that silence breaks expectations, leaving the other person to confront their own insecurities. This silent confidence is an unshakable strength. In a world that demands constant explanations and reactions, choosing silence is a bold act. It is a refusal to play by someone else's rules and an affirmation of your autonomy. Imagine someone questioning your life choices. By smiling and remaining silent, you reaffirm that your decisions are yours, and you do not need to justify them. The Stoic philosophers considered silence a sign of strength and resilience. Choosing silence shows that you are no longer guided by ego or impulsivity. It is a demonstration of self-mastery and growth, reminding us that true power lies in controlling ourselves, not others. Silence also protects your mental and emotional health. By refusing to engage with negativity, you save your energy for what truly matters. Not every voice deserves attention, and not every battle deserves your time. Silence teaches that your energy is valuable and that not everyone deserves it. When you choose silence, something extraordinary happens. The focus shifts to the other person. Without your reaction, they are forced to confront their own words and actions. It is in that moment that the true power of silence is revealed, not in what it says about you, but in what it exposes about the other. Number 2. How silence reflects their ego. Silence is a paradoxical force, often interpreted as weakness but in reality, a manifestation of profound strength. When others expect anger or confrontation, choosing silence can dismantle their ego, leaving a greater impact than any verbal response. This choice is not about suppressing emotions but mastering them, channeling energy into self-control and inner peace. Responding with silence does not signify indifference, but an intentional assertion of power. It demonstrates that you are not manipulated by others' provocations. As Epictetus, the Stoic philosopher, said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." By refusing to react, you send a clear message: your emotions belong to you, not others. Silence becomes an invisible shield, protecting your dignity and peace. Furthermore, silence exposes the intentions of others. Provocations often stem from insecurity, a need for validation, or a sense of superiority. When you react with anger, you provide the validation they seek. However, by choosing silence, you remove their control, forcing them to confront their own motives, leaving them disoriented and questioning their actions. Silence is also an anchor, allowing you to remain calm and think clearly in moments of tension. It offers a chance to observe situations objectively, without being clouded by impulsive emotions. A historical example is Socrates, who, during his trial, maintained composure in the face of baseless accusations, responding with reason and integrity. His calm demeanor exposed the lack of merit in his accusers' claims and left a legacy of moral courage. Choosing silence is not just a strategic decision, but a kind act toward yourself. Constantly reacting to negativity consumes emotional, mental, and physical energy. By refusing to engage in unnecessary conflicts, you preserve your energy for what truly matters, maintaining emotional balance. When confronted by silence, provocateurs often lose their sense of control. They rely on reactions to validate their importance. Without this, they are forced to reflect on their actions, making silence a mirror that reveals their flaws and insecurities. However, choosing silence does not mean ignoring your emotions. True mastery lies in acknowledging your feelings and channeling them constructively, whether through deep breathing, writing, or confiding in someone you trust. Processing emotions without allowing them to dictate your actions is essential for maintaining internal balance and external relationships. Silence can transform conflicts into opportunities for growth and reconciliation, both in personal and professional relationships. It creates space for reflection, enabling more constructive approaches and demonstrating that you value the relationship more than the conflict. At the heart of silence lies the affirmation of your self-worth. It declares that your peace is non-negotiable and that you will not allow others to harm it. Respecting your inner peace sets clear boundaries, demanding respect from yourself and others. Nelson Mandela is a historical example of the power of silence. During his 27 years in prison, he chose not to respond with anger or bitterness but used the time for reflection, growth, and preparation for leadership. His silence was not passive but a calculated act of resistance that exposed the injustices of apartheid, transforming him into a global symbol of dignity and strength. Silence is not merely the absence of sound, but the presence of purpose. The next time someone tries to provoke you, ask yourself, is my peace worth trading for their insecurity? By choosing silence, you reclaim your power, protect your dignity, and force others to confront their own shortcomings. Number 3. The role of discipline in silence. Silence is like a tranquil lake reflecting the sky, peaceful, profound, and full of meaning. While it may seem passive, it possesses immense transformative power. Mastering the art of silence is akin to acquiring a subtle strength, a discipline that can dissolve conflicts, nurture self-awareness, and command respect. Disciplined silence is not merely the absence of reaction, but a conscious choice. It acts as a shield against chaos and a mirror that reflects the inner self. At the core of disciplined silence lies the opportunity for deep self-awareness. By avoiding verbal confrontations, silence forces both the one practicing it and those witnessing it to confront their own behaviors. Without the noise of arguments or justifications, it exposes flaws in character and clarifies the patterns that guide our actions. Imagine a friend who constantly seeks validation through minor arguments. When their provocations are met with silence, they are forced to reflect. Without a response reinforcing their behavior, they may realize that their need to argue stems from deeper insecurities or fears. In this way, silence becomes a portal to self-awareness, allowing us to pause, reflect, and grow beyond impulsive reactions. Moreover, silence reveals intentions, both ours and others. Those who provoke often seek a reaction to justify their actions. Disciplined silence deprives them of that satisfaction, forcing them to confront their own motivations. This same silence breaks the cycle of conflict. In tense moments, it acts as a natural pause button, allowing emotions to settle. Choosing restraint prevents the escalation of anger and encourages reflection. Silence, however, can be uncomfortable, especially for those accustomed to constant validation. This discomfort is an essential catalyst for personal growth. It exposes the fragility of the ego, showing that many people depend on others' reactions to feel valued. For example, someone who often boasts about their achievements at social events seeks admiration. When the audience responds with silence, this person is forced to reflect. Are their accomplishments truly a source of pride or merely a way to seek external validation? Disciplined silence encourages humility, prompting people to find value in themselves. It also reflects strength and self-control. In a world where quick responses are often associated with confidence, the choice of silence demonstrates inner mastery. Imagine a sports coach facing provocations during a critical game. By maintaining composure and opting for silence, they conserve energy, inspire respect, and demonstrate that true strength lies in self-control. Disciplined silence, in addition to inspiring respect, fosters reflection. It encourages others to reassess their behaviors, turning interactions into opportunities for growth. Think of a friend who frequently complains. Instead of interrupting or advising, you choose to listen in silence. This space allows them to process their emotions, often reaching greater clarity and awareness. Through disciplined silence, relationships can also evolve. Consider a relationship where one person dominates conversations with negativity. The other chooses to remain silent, offering only a calm presence. Initially, this causes discomfort, but over time, it leads the speaker to recognize their behavioral patterns and seek positive change. Essentially, disciplined silence is not a passive act but a powerful force. It nurtures self-awareness, dissipates conflicts, and promotes personal growth, both for the one practicing it and those experiencing it. By adopting silence, we regain control over our emotions and turn challenges into opportunities for peace and development. This proves that sometimes the most impactful messages are conveyed without any words. Number 4. Protecting your peace. In tumultuous life, we often encounter situations that stir anger, dissatisfaction, or hurt. However, in these moments, silence becomes a powerful weapon, capable of preserving inner peace and affirming personal values and resilience. Silence is not just the absence of words but a conscious choice, grounded in rationality and self-awareness. Impulsive reactions may seem satisfying in the moment, but often lead to future regrets. When someone provokes or belittles you, the goal is to elicit a reaction that gives them control over your emotions. On the other hand, Silence allows you to maintain control of the situation and avoid actions that might compromise your values. Stoic philosophy teaches that while we cannot control the actions of others, we have full control over our responses. Choosing silence is not about avoiding conflict, but prioritizing peace and personal values over insignificant disputes. By opting for silence, you set a mental boundary, protecting yourself from unjust criticism and negativity. This preserves your energy for truly important matters. Silence does not mean ignoring the problem or a lack of interest. In fact, it reflects deep self-awareness, allowing you to focus on more valuable matters rather than getting caught up in temporary conflicts. It is the way to assert, "I choose not to let this situation define me." For example, in a work meeting, if a colleague attacks you personally, choosing silence may dissipate the tension and, at the same time, highlight the lack of professionalism on their part. This calmness demonstrates strength and keeps your focus on important tasks. Silence creates space for reflection for both you and others. In Stoic philosophy, it is seen as a necessary pause in tense dialogues, allowing emotions to dissipate and actions to be redirected positively. A real example is the behavior of Abraham Lincoln. When criticized by a government colleague, he chose silence instead of reacting immediately. A few days later, the critic acknowledged their mistake and apologized. This attitude prevented the escalation of conflict and reinforced Lincoln's image as a calm and respected leader. Choosing silence is an expression of discipline and self-respect. Remaining silent prevents others from controlling your emotions, requiring patience and self-awareness, but strengthening your self-esteem. It is a clear statement: I control my narrative, no one else. Silence is not a sign of weakness, but of strength. You don't need to engage in every argument or defend your perspective in every situation. By choosing silence, you ensure that your actions align with your values and priorities. Silence is also a mark of maturity. It reflects an awareness of your worth and a refusal to waste energy on people or situations that don't deserve your attention. Imagine a tranquil lake reflecting the blue sky. Even when the wind blows or stones fall into the water, the lake maintains its serenity. Similarly, you can remain firm in the face of life's turbulence. Words, actions, or negativity may cause small ripples, but they are never enough to disturb your inner peace. In Stoic philosophy, silence is more than a tool, it is a way of life. It protects your inner peace and symbolizes strength and freedom. When someone expects your anger but finds silence, you not only defy their expectations but demonstrate that you are in control of yourself and that nothing can shake you. Number 5. Self-respect through non-reaction. Self-respect through non-reaction is a profound demonstration of self-mastery and self-worth. More than simple silence, it is a conscious choice to remain at peace instead of reacting impulsively, to practice patience in the face of provocation, and to prioritize serenity over chaos. In a world that often confuses reaction with strength, mastering the art of non-reaction is a testament to self-control, valued by Stoic philosophers like Marcus Aurelius. Imagine someone throwing insults with the intent to provoke. If you respond with a serene smile, silence, and move on, the power dynamic changes completely. Those expecting an emotional explosion are forced to confront the discomfort of their own behavior. In this context, silence is not weakness but a firm declaration of emotional control and the preservation of dignity. It acts as a shield protecting your mental peace and makes it clear, I value myself too much to waste energy on negativity. By choosing non-reaction, you set boundaries and communicate clear standards of conduct, cultivating relationships based on mutual respect. This practice requires discipline and self-awareness to restrain emotions that could compromise your personal values. Before reacting with anger or frustration, the true manifestation of self-respect comes when you assess whether the conflict is worth your energy. A practical example: during a work meeting, a colleague makes a malicious comment about your idea. Instead of reacting defensively, you remain calm, keep your focus on the presentation, and continue to lead the meeting professionally. This silence conveys confidence in the validity of your ideas and shows that negative criticism does not affect your composure. In addition to protecting your dignity, This approach disarms the provocateur and reinforces your image of strength and professionalism. Silence is powerful because it challenges expectations. When someone expects anger and finds calm, they are forced to reflect on their own intentions. This pause often leads to insights and regrets, showing that silence, when used well, can be a form of silent resistance. Non-reaction also preserves energy, allowing you to invest your time in priorities aligned with your values. It does not mean avoiding confrontations, but knowing how to choose battles that truly matter. As Stoic philosophy emphasizes, external validation is fleeting, but self-respect is enduring. One of the greatest challenges of non-reactivity is the patience it requires. Remaining silent may seem uncomfortable, but it allows you to process emotions without being dominated by them. Ask yourself, is this worth my energy? Will engaging in this conflict bring me peace or just exhaustion? These reflections help prioritize self-respect in both the short and long term. Silence is, at times, an act of resistance. Refusing to react to negativity prevents others from controlling your emotions and asserts your independence. It leaves a deep mark, often more impactful than any words could. Choosing silence shifts the focus from the conflict to the essential truth of the situation, leading to greater understanding and possibly resolution. Cultivating self-respect through non-reaction requires practice, patience, and self-awareness. It is recognizing that silence is not weakness, but strength. It protects your peace, preserves your dignity, and reinforces your emotional autonomy. By mastering this skill, you become the architect of your emotional landscape, unshaken in the face of external storms. As Seneca said, "It is not the man who has little, but the one who desires more who is poor." Let your silence be a reminder that your peace is invaluable. What do you think about using silence as a powerful tool in communication and life? Leave a comment below sharing your thoughts and personal experiences. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like and share it to spread the message to more people. Make sure to subscribe to our channel and activate notifications so you don't miss any of our upcoming videos. Recommended videos will appear next. Continue your journey of exploring inner strength with us. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.